the founding member and former national president of INEDA, the recipient of INEDA National Outstanding Entrepreneurship Educator Award, recipient of PACSB National Business Educator, co-chair of CHED Technical Committee for Business Administration, Entrepreneurship, and Office Administration. He is the Dean of College of Business, Entrepreneurship, and Accountancy. Sabi mo nga, Carl, kapitbahay ko lang siya. Pwede ko siyang puntahan anytime. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Antonio M. Lopez.
Thank you
also,
very much.
We have...
Rhoda?
Hi, Dr. Lopez.
Yes.
Dr. Tony, hi.
Hello, hi. Hi, Rhoda. How are you? Kapitbahay pala kita.
Yes, pwede ko siyang puntahan anytime.
Okay, that's good.
Nandito lang ako somewhere in Katipunan.
Oh, yeah. Katipunan Avenue. Anyway, so I have to proceed already to my talk right now. Can I proceed now, Carl?
Go ahead, Doctor.
Yeah, okay. So I guess I have to go back. I have to mention some historical facts actually related to this present pandemic flu and 18 pandemic flu known as the Spanish flu. Although most researchers said that it did not really originate from Spain. It so happened at that time, it's a World War I time, Spain was a neutral country and it did not censor any news. And Spain was affected so much of this virus. They were able to pick up some news about the pandemic flu in 1918. And the US specifically was also affected by the Spanish flu, amounting to 675,000 deaths actually in 1918. And worldwide, according to some researchers, it's about 40 million deaths actually. In fact, although there are some no economic data available as to what the statistic, but according to them, it can be 40 to 50 million actually death toll worldwide, and around 500 million infected by the virus. So you can just imagine, although our present the present coronavirus seems to be, no, we hope we won't be able to reach that that figures. So. And this virus actually came in three waves. The first wave, they thought it was just a plain flu, influenza. So it happened actually in 1918, in spring of 1918, but it bounced back again in the same year, or in the early 1990, but this was the worst second wave after the third wave. Actually, the second wave. And even in China, most people are expecting there might be a second wave in the 1918, escalated in 1919, but it died down actually in 1920. And in fact, what they have observed in some areas in some countries who have taken some early intervention, such as even distancing. They have even social distancing at that time. And theaters and churches, okay. But of course, some business were affected. So it's almost similar for what's actually happening right now. But according to them, those who have adopted early intervention took actually a good takeoff in terms of economy, right? Because at that time, the economy, although there was actually most businesses were suffering, but the problem there, because of high mortality rate, the major problem was the labor shortage. At the time. So manufacturing at that time, remember, it's a second industrial revolution. So they're open when they're returning. Their problem is about labor. So it's a labor shortage as compared to right now. If you like to look, it's more, we're losing more jobs or losing more jobs because most companies right now are really losing because of the present virus. So even Spain in itself was heavily affected by this. And then, according to some research, even the king was infected by the virus itself. Now, in China, of course, right now, I have the recent article that I have read, they're returning to normalcy, but some restaurants have opened up, but only a few customers again, because still people are still scared they might be infected by the virus, and they're looking at there might be a second wave of the virus. And of course, according to some statistics that they have that I have read, around 41% of the Chinese right now would be having less spending. In other, they won't spend or even cars or houses like now. And 51% would like to earn more. In other words, it's really more on earning more because of the pandemic flu right now. So in other words, why am I actually trying to compare this? Because in terms of intensity and in terms of the measures and it's almost similar. However, the difference here is that the 1918 Spanish flu or the pandemic flu of 1918, it's more of the labor shortage. Seems it's quite different right now. It seems it's more of losing jobs because of the most companies and a lot of companies are losing, and we're experiencing it right now of the effect of the coronavirus. So from there, we can learn something about that. But the main idea, my main talk would really focusing on the consumer's behavior. I think so. Dr. Love has mentioned about consumers' behavior, about resiliency, and talk about isolation, and they can coming up with new business models. And I did some quick survey 2 days ago on the effect of the COVID-19 consumers' behavior. Although the respondents, I have around 95 respondents out of the 120 that I sent out. But this will give us an indicator already of some changes, and we can pick it up from there if we're planning to come up with a new business model or a strategy, particularly hopefully after COVID-19 crisis. So I'll try to share it in the screen. Number one. Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Host disabled. Can because the host is disabled the screen.
Wait, okay. Yeah, while Dr. Lopez is putting it on our screen share, yeah, I'd like to say indeed that the distance by which we can travel forward is only proportionate to the distance by which we can look back. Indeed, isn't it? Thank you very much, Dr. Lopez, for that part of history, for sharing that part of history, and for giving hope that even the worst we have survived, so this one we can surely survive better.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, please do the share screen now. Yeah.
Okay. I can't.
Sanay lang ako sa
Okay.
radio.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, this one. Okay. So I have to start right now at the beginning.
Okay. So, yeah. So sanay lang po ako. And this is a survey that Dr. Lopez conducted a few days back.
Okay.
Okay,
so,
there.
This is a survey on consumer behavior, the effect of the COVID-19 to consumer behavior. So there are around 94 responses. Of course, look at the right side. Of course, more of 26 to 30, 31 to 35 years old, 36 to 40. Now, may I remind you, I would like to give you information that in the pandemic, the Spanish flu, mostly affected our young
Yeah, you're
E-
breaking out, Dr. Lopez. Yeah, go ahead.
Ages 20 to 40 or 45 usage, right?
Okay.
And then, of course, self-employed actually, and then of course contractual, and this some
Yeah, Dr. Lopez. We had experience. We had experience.
unemployed
Yeah, we had
employees.
experience. Yeah, Dr. Lopez. We had experience that when we
Yes.
do screen share, and you have a bad signal, it will become worse. So can we just proceed to the slides and just for us to see first, then we turn off the
Okay.
slides
Okay.
so we can see you more. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So this one is the top, the slides,
The
and
top.
then of course,
All right. Can you go back to that, Dr. Lopez?
yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to read it for those who are using the phone, which may be small. The slides says, during the ECQ time, what are the top 4 items that you usually buy or avail? The top one seems to be meat, and the next followed by medicines, followed by
Vegetables,
vegetables
medicines, and fruits. Right.
and fruits, and
Okay.
the least is the canned goods.
Right.
Okay, that's all right. The next one is answer only if you answered others as part of top 4. What else? What is your item
So
mentioned
yeah.
above?
Yes.
And
So it
what's
can be from
mentioned is
snacks and toiletries and everything else. Okay.
bread and coffee is what they 86% indicated.
Right. Okay.
All right. So shall we have the next, please? Before
How
how
do you purchase or avail of these items? They personally buy it actually.
I personally buy it at 67%. Ask someone to buy it at 31%. But online is 16%.
Around 16%.
And someone is supplying you, which is probably also online, is
Right.
12.8%.
12.8%.
All right. Okay. So,
Then if ECQ will be listed, what are the top 3 things that you will avail or do?
okay.
Right?
And they say go to work.
They have to go to work.
Then
Then they have to go to salon. Right?
Okay,
You
visit
have
the
some
church.
haircut, manicure, pedicure.
All right. Salon.
Right. Okay.
Then eat out.
Eat out actually. Right.
And
Massage, yeah, the wellness. Okay.
and the other one is, what's the other one?
Massage, right?
The light blue.
Massage, wellness, or the visit to church.
Okay, so interesting. Everybody wants to go to salon. Yeah. Wants to visit the church.
I guess I myself, I like to go to the barber shop, right? It will be lifted.
Yeah, ako rin.
I need the haircut right now.
All right. Next, please, Dr. Lopez.
Okay.
Okay.
What will be your major expenditure priorities after the COVID-19 crisis?
Okay.
Top answer will still be food,
Bills
medicine,
payment. Yeah.
and personal care. And bill payments is actually there.
Okay. And personal care and self-wellness and medicine. Okay. Least is, what's that little blue?
Okay.
The light blue, Dr. Lopez. What is
this is the next slide. This is the major expenditure priorities of the consumers after the COVID crisis.
Yeah.
Okay. Will there be a significant change in your expenditure priorities after the COVID-19 crisis? Imagine 40% says no, 59% says yes. But still, you look at the 40%, this is a big amount, this is a big percentage also. So there might be a change in the lifestyles of people. So even companies or even those businesses have to have a new business model and definitely some strategies to use here.
Okay, so they said yes.
After the crisis is over, what would you recommend to our government? Okay, definitely it's about health services. Economic recovery is second. Okay, and of course the third has something to do with financial support for the small and medium enterprise, and of course, and then the food benefits actually also in that category.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Nice insights.
In your opinion, in this one, what businesses will be sustainable after the COVID-19 crisis? They have to choose top 5. And according to them, it will be pharmaceutical companies, drugstores, or anything to do with drugs or medicines. Second has something to do with online restaurant, online food, online banking, online shopping and then the restaurants. So in other words, it seems the online thing, as mentioned by Dr. Lab before, seems to be the emerging trend, probably. Okay. Of course, it's just some answers. If they don't have, choose what are those other businesses that you think can bounce back after the COVID-19: home-based services, trucking, transportation, grocery manufacturing, and delivery services.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Actually, why am I actually sharing that? Because from here, we'll be able to come up with certain ideas, things that we have to plan. As mentioned ago by Dr. Love, it is about time for us to plan, particularly the type of business models that we would like to undertake, and even the strategies, taking into account, of course, the consumer's behavior right now, whether there will be a change in the lifestyle or modeling itself, as even education itself. We were forced right now to go online, no? Although, yes, it's true. Good, we have a new education landscape, particularly in the higher education unit, where we focus on competency instead of looking at particular areas, but we're really focusing on the competency programs. So this time, a lot of people, a lot of faculty are now using online, and it might be actually really the delivery mode in the succeeding years to
A
come.
new normal. A new
Yeah,
normal, Dr. Tony.
a
Yeah.
new normal, actually, that. So, so again, let me share another slides here. Let me see. Okay, for us to okay.
Okay. To to the participants, we decided really we had a dry run yesterday, and
Okay.
the three deans made sure that they will come from different perspectives. And please
Okay.
take note that this is a well thought of division of topics.
Okay.
And I'm excited to see this from Dr. Lopez. Go ahead, Dr. Lopez.
Right. This is the road to recovery. And based on the research done before, and even trying to look at what is the present trend. And number one, that we should take into account, because people need to go back to its normalcy. They have to go back to their normal life. We have to go back to our normal economic activities. But definitely they'll be looking in these areas. Number one, health securities. As mentioned by our president, as long as there's no medicine, no vaccine about this present virus, then definitely that will be at stake. So we really have to put more emphasis on health security. Second is mobility. Since a lot of people would like to go back to work, and the transfer of goods and services, then we have to put in mobility, transportation system, and should be in place already. Then, of course, access to information, and this is where transparency, where people can get and communicate easily and be able to be guided in some policies or programs of the government, and of course, even from the private sectors. The last will be the financial services. Remember, most companies need to recover, and definitely government and even the private sectors, particularly those in the financial institution, have to collaborate in this particular area. So these are the four major, I think, so areas that we need to focus if we would like to go back to recovery. But of course, when you talk of recovery, it will take time for us to recover, right? As mentioned by Dr. Lab, normalcy will take around a year and a half, or it depends on even if you go back up to 2 years, as long as we'll not be able, unless we'll be able to come up with the vaccine or the medicine about this present virus. recent virus. Let me show you the economic. Why am I trying to emphasize this, to focus this, as based on what I mentioned earlier? Income plays an important role right now in economic cycle. So because it is in income that we have more consumption, and then definitely it will affect positively production. And production, there will be more employment. And more employment means that more people will have more income for them to consume. So in fact, if you try to look at the survey done, they would like to go back now. More money consumption here have to be taken into major consideration. What would be those commodities or items that they would like to consume nowadays or after the coronavirus crisis? Okay. And the last one, excuse me. I feel this is the sustainable industries actually, based on the surveys done and the researches done already. Of course, it will take time. Recovery will take time, but we believe that this will be the industry that will have to come back really, or in other words, will bounce back. Retailing, definitely. Any kind of retailing, particularly it pertains to essential items. No? Most likely malls will not yet be because of large gathering, but retail stores and retail outlets can come back and can bounce back. Agriculture, of course, because of the food supply. Healthcare, no? Any businesses that have something to do with healthcare will bounce back, and definitely about services here. And I think so, what kind of services? Ito na yung mga salon nga, and even yung mga massage services, and even those consulting services. Transportation is actually part, because it's part of the services. Education is actually part of the services actually mentioned here. So, stop share.
All right.
Okay, so these are really the industries that I believe will really bounce back. But again, a further study have to be made, right? Particularly after this COVID crisis, considering, of course, number one, the consumer's behavior, the lifestyle of people. Would it change? Would it be a new normal? Isolation, will it be a new normal to us? And of course, number two, we have to look into a particular strategy, a strategy that definitely will be able to recover our economy. And of course, looking again, this is for the business sectors. It is not just only profit that we have considered most, but this time we have to consider humanity. And I believe the social enterprise, we have to develop the social enterprise, the social entrepreneurship, looking at the community, looking at, of course, the areas that we would like actually to support or to help. Or in closing, I would just like to mention that we're facing a lot of challenges right now, but this will open a door for more opportunities for us plan, and of course to review our present situation. So salamat po.
Thank you very much,
Carl.
Dr. Antonio Lopez of Miriam College. Thank you so much.